My beloved child, something in the unseen has shifted. Loud enough for heaven to take notice, urgent enough for Archangel Michael himself to step forward. This message carries the vibration of an alarm bell ringing in the realm of the spirit, echoing directly into your home. When Archangel Michael says, "It's an emergency," it is never without reason, and today, that reason is tied to something heartbreakingly close to you. There is a movement around your house, a spiritual disturbance, almost like a whisper trapped inside your walls. It's not physical noise. It's the aftershock of a betrayal, the echo of someone who once smiled at you but carried hidden intentions behind their back. Archangel Michael stands at your doorway right now, sword drawn, because something that was done against your heart is about to surface. Something you did not see, but something heaven saw clearly. The heartbreaking news is coming, not to destroy you, but to free you. Archangel Michael wants you to understand this. The coming revelation is not meant to break your spirit. It is meant to break the chains you didn't know you were still tied to. Someone who hurt you, someone whose actions were cloaked in deception, someone who thought their hidden actions would never reach the light, will now be exposed. And this exposure is a divine intervention. Child of light, Michael whispers, prepare yourself, but do not fear. This revelation is your deliverance. There is a heaviness around your heart that you've been carrying silently, pretending it no longer affects you, pretending your strength is enough. But heaven never relied on your strength alone. Heaven relied on your willingness to listen when the message arrives. And right now, this message has come knocking with urgency. Archangel Michael is showing a vision of your home as if a bright light is sweeping through each room, pushing away shadows, forcing truth to rise. This truth, this heartbreaking news, is connected to the person who caused you emotional wounds deeper than you ever spoke about. The one who lied, the one who abandoned, the one who manipulated your kindness, the one who thought God was not watching. Michael says, the one who hurt you is closer to exposure than they realize. This is why he calls it an emergency. Not because your home is in danger, but because your heart is finally ready for clarity, and the universe is preparing to deliver it. The truth must enter quickly before doubt, confusion, and emotional weight build any further. You have reached a spiritual threshold, and heaven refuses to let you suffer in silence anymore. Listen carefully. Something was hidden behind your back. Something said about you. Something done in secret. Something planned against your peace. And Archangel Michael is stepping forward to defend you so fiercely that nothing can remain concealed. Heaven is preparing to show you exactly who this person truly is. But here's the part that might surprise you. This revelation will not weaken you. It will not shatter your spirit. Instead, it will lift a burden off your soul, a burden you've been unknowingly carrying. You will see everything clearly. You will understand why certain things felt heavy, why your spirit sensed something was off, why your intuition kept nudging you toward truth. This is divine confirmation. Archangel Michael says, you were not imagining it. You were not overthinking. You were not wrong. You were divinely alerted. And now the exposure begins. Something powerful is about to unfold in your life. But before it does, Michael wants you to stay grounded. He wants you to keep your heart open, not in fear, but in expectation. This is not a message to worry you. This is a message to prepare you. What you are about to discover will shift the direction of your emotional journey. It will remove false connections, false loyalty, false comfort. You are stepping into a season where only truth can survive around you. There's a reason you were led to this message today. The timing is not random. The urgency is real. Archangel Michael has been trying to get your attention because the moment ahead of you is a turning point. A moment that will reshape your relationships, your emotional boundaries, and your spiritual protection. Before this reveal arrives, he wants you to steady yourself, because the heartbreak you think is coming is actually the breakthrough you have been praying for without realizing it. Hold on to this. You are not alone. Heaven is standing guard at your door. And child, something extraordinary is about to unfold. Stay with this message, because the next moment, what Michael reveals next, will change the way you see everything. Type "I receive the revelation" in the comments if this message is already stirring your spirit. Blessing code 1441 has just been released. Before you move away, pause. Because what comes next is the moment your heart has been waiting for. Dearest soul of light, a new wave of revelation is rising around you, and Archangel Michael is urging you to breathe slowly as this truth approaches. The spiritual atmosphere around your home is shifting again, almost like the air is vibrating with a silent announcement. You may not hear it with your physical ears, but your spirit already feels something moving. That heaviness in your chest, that sudden sense of alertness, that inner knowing that something is about to surface. This is not random. This is Archangel Michael preparing you for what is coming next. There is a reason heaven calls this an emergency. It is because this moment marks the breaking point of a long cycle, one that has drained your emotions, clouded your mind, and tested your faith. You have been walking through life carrying the weight of unanswered questions, wondering why certain experiences lingered even after you thought you had healed. But Archangel Michael whispers that the answers you seek are on their way, carried by a divine reveal you could never have uncovered by yourself. This message is not here to frighten you. It is here to usher in clarity so precise that it will feel like scales falling off your eyes. Heaven saw what happened. It saw the tears you never explained. It saw the trust you gave freely, the loyalty you offered honestly, the love you carried without holding anything back. It also saw the deception, quiet, subtle, almost invisible to the human eye. Someone who smiled at you was silently building their own story, a story that involved you only when it benefited them. Someone who claimed to care for you was carrying intentions that contradicted their words. Heaven watched every moment, every lie, every manipulation, every quiet betrayal that tried to attach itself to your spirit. And now, Archangel Michael says, the time for hidden things is over. The heartbreaking news that is approaching your home is not an attack, it is a release. It will feel intense at first, like a sudden crack in the wall of your understanding. But as the truth settles, you will recognize that this was not meant to break you. It was meant to free you from emotional illusions. The person who hurt you operated from a place of confusion, selfishness, or unresolved darkness, and they believed their actions would go unnoticed forever. But heaven does not allow injustice to remain in the shadows. Not when your heart is involved. Not when your destiny requires closure. Archangel Michael stands guard near your spirit, showing a vision of him placing his sword through layers of mist, piercing through confusion, and revealing the outlines of the truth you are about to uncover. He is not approaching this lightly. He is not whispering this message gently. He is declaring it with authority because you have carried the burden of someone else's actions for far too long. You deserve clarity. You deserve healing. You deserve to understand what really happened behind your back. Heaven has seen the moment approaching, when a message, a confession, a confrontation, or a sudden shift of circumstances reveals what has been hidden. This news will touch your heart deeply. Not because it destroys you, but because it reveals the real connection between you and the person who hurt you. You have been blaming yourself for too long, wondering if you could have done something differently. Archangel Michael says that your heart was never the problem. Your love was never the issue. Your loyalty was never the weakness. The truth is, someone else acted from a place of darkness that had nothing to do with you. This exposure, though painful, will feel like the opening of a window after years of breathing stale air. You will feel relief, understanding, and a release from emotional illusions you did not know were binding you. The truth will hurt only for a moment, but it will liberate you for a lifetime. Archangel Michael whispers again, urging you to stay centered as this energy enters your life. The veil is thinning more quickly now. The revelation is approaching your home like a wave rolling toward the shore. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be silenced. Heaven has decided that your heart deserves justice, truth, and freedom. And when heaven decides something, no power, seen or unseen, can block it. You may feel a strange shift in your emotions over the next hours or days. A sudden memory resurfacing. A dream that feels too real to ignore. A random thought that feels guided. These are signs that the truth is aligning with your awareness. Do not resist it. Do not fear it. Allow yourself to receive whatever comes, because Archangel Michael is protecting your heart through the entire process. There is a reason he instructs you to remain with this message. You are being prepared not only for the revelation, but for the transformation that follows. The person who hurt you is being exposed not to cause chaos, but to remove the emotional weight that has clung to your spirit. You will rise above this. You will step into clarity. You will walk forward with strength that comes from truth, not illusion. And soon, you will see why heaven sent this message at this exact moment in your life. Before you move on, pause for a moment. What is coming next is not just information. It is the shift your heart hath been waiting for. Type "I accept the truth" in the comments if your spirit is awakening to this message. Blessing code 2288 is now activated. Hold your breath for a moment, because what unfolds next is where the revelation becomes undeniable. Precious soul, there is a deeper layer to this emergency that Archangel Michael is pressing upon your spirit. What you felt in the last moments was only the surface, the first ripple of a much larger revelation moving toward your life. Now the wave is rising higher, preparing to break open a truth that will finally explain the confusion you have carried for months, maybe even years. The spiritual atmosphere around your home is intensifying, not in danger, but in clarity. There is a divine spotlight shining over the situation, and Archangel Michael is guiding it with a steady and protective hand. You may have noticed subtle signs lately. Shifts in energy, sudden emotional heaviness, unexpected memories resurfacing, or a quiet intuitive nudge telling you something is off. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual cues. The heart always senses truth before the mind understands it, and Archangel Michael has been gently preparing your spirit for what is now approaching with undeniable force. The news coming to your home isn't random. It is tied to a specific person, a specific moment, a specific wound you never fully healed from. The one who hurt you is woven into this revelation, and heaven is pulling the thread now. This person underestimated the spiritual laws that govern truth. They believed silence would cover their actions. They believed distance would erase their choices. They believed your kindness meant you would never see who they really were behind closed doors. But heaven does not allow falsehood to remain hidden forever, especially when your soul has been chosen for healing. Archangel Michael stands firm at your doorway, not with rage, but with righteous protection. He is guarding not just your home, but your emotional space, your inner world, your sacred heart. There is a moment coming, swift, undeniable, when the truth will break through like lightning splitting a dark sky. You may receive a message. You may overhear something. Someone may finally tell you what they should have said long ago, or the person themselves may act in a way that exposes everything without warning. The form does not matter. What matters is that the revelation is now divinely scheduled. It cannot be reversed. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be hidden any longer. Archangel Michael says the heartbreaking news is not meant to crush you. It is meant to free you from the emotional prison built by someone else's choices. They hurt you because they were lost, confused, broken, or blinded by their own unresolved darkness. You were not the cause, and you were never the failure. Their wounds spilled into your life, and you absorbed the pain without understanding why. This message is heaven's way of returning the truth to you and returning responsibility to them. You must prepare yourself, not in fear, but in awareness. The truth will sting, but it will not destroy you. The human heart is designed to break only temporarily so it can expand, strengthen, and rise stronger than before. You will not collapse under this revelation. Not this time. Archangel Michael is standing beside you, ensuring that what enters your life now arrives with divine timing and divine protection. There is a powerful release coming, a moment where everything that felt tangled finally begins to make sense. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain relationship faded, why certain situation dissolved without explanation. You will see how heaven was protecting you long before you realized you needed protection. You will begin to understand your own strength, your own intuition, your own resilience. The heartbreak is not your ending, it is your awakening. The energy in your home is shifting because the truth is already moving closer. Every hour, every breath, every moment draws you nearer to the revelation. Archangel Michael asks you to stay anchored, stay grounded, stay aware. This is not the moment to doubt yourself. This is the moment to trust what your soul already knows. The one who hurt you will be revealed, not for vengeance but for closure. You are stepping out of confusion and into clarity, a clarity that will free you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And now, before this chapter continues unfolding, pause and breathe. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking into truth. The next moments will shift the atmosphere of your life in ways you have long needed. Trust that you are protected. Trust that you are guided. Trust that Archangel Michael is preparing you with purpose. Type "I am ready for the truth" in the comments if this message is resonating with your spirit. Blessing code 5577 is now released. Before we continue, take a moment to lift this message higher. Like this video, comment to strengthen your spiritual alignment, share it so another soul can receive guidance, and subscribe so you never miss what heaven is revealing next. Your engagement helps spread divine clarity into the world. Beloved listener, as this revelation unfolds, remember that messages like this are part of a greater mission, bringing light into places where many walk in confusion and silent pain. When you choose to sow into this work, you are not supporting a channel, you are releasing spiritual oil over thousands who need hope. Heaven says that every good seed brings a harvest, and your seed becomes the light someone else is praying for. I'm opening this moment to those who feel the pull in their spirit. If you hear that inner whisper saying, "This is your moment," do not silence it. The support you give through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description becomes a prophetic act, unlocking blessings over your own home. And I speak with authority. Those who sow into revelation will reap revelation. Step into this divine action now. Beloved heart of truth, as we move deeper into this revelation, Archangel Michael is drawing even closer to your spirit. The urgency around your home is no longer a distant vibration. He is now standing at the threshold, waiting to be understood. The spiritual realm is alive with movement, and heaven is orchestrating events with precision so that nothing hidden remains in the shadows. You may feel a pressure in your atmosphere, a subtle emotional weight, or a strange awareness that something significant is just beyond the veil. This is not imagination. This is alignment. Truth is moving toward you, and Michael is ensuring that it enters your life exactly when your heart is ready to receive it. There is a deeper reason heaven called this an emergency. It is because your destiny was being slowed down by the invisible residue of a wound you never fully processed. The person who hurt you created cracks in your emotional foundation, cracks that you tried to mend with strength, with silence, with patience, with hope. But now that the truth is approaching, Archangel Michael wants you to see what your spirit has been too exhausted to notice. You were never meant to carry this burden alone. The heartbreak did not begin with the news you are about to receive. It began long ago, in moments when you gave someone your sincerity and they returned confusion. When you gave your honesty and they returned deceit. When you gave effort and they returned indifference. The revelation coming to your home is heaven's final chapter in a story you did not choose, but one you endured with grace. Michael shows a vision of you standing in the center of your home while a gentle but powerful light scans every corner. This light is not meant to expose you. It is meant to expose what was done to you. You were not the one who acted in darkness. You were not the one who hid the truth. You were not the one who allowed pain to seep into another person's spirit. Yet somehow, you carried the consequences as if they belonged to you. This is why the news may feel heartbreaking at first. It forces you to confront the reality of someone's actions, someone you trusted or cared about deeply. But the heartbreak is temporary. The clarity, however, will last. The person who hurt you is now standing spiritually before a mirror. Archangel Michael has turned that mirror toward them so they can no longer escape their reflection. Their actions, intentions, and hidden motives are rising to the surface, and they can no longer pretend that heaven did not see. Their choices are catching up with them. Their words are returning to them. Their secrets are collapsing under the weight of divine truth. This moment is not about punishment. It is about alignment. What they sowed must now be revealed so you can reclaim your peace. But here is the part Archangel Michael wants you to focus on. The coming news does not arrive to reopen your wounds. It arrives to remove what has been poisoning them. You have been healing from the outside in, but this revelation will heal you from the inside out. There are answers you have never spoken aloud but have carried quietly in your chest. You have tried to move on, but something always felt unresolved. You tried to forget, but your spirit continued to tug at you, reminding you that unfinished truth cannot be buried. It must be released. This release will feel like a breath you didn't realize you were holding. It will feel like stepping out of a fog. It will feel like the moment sunlight enters a room that had been dim for too long. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, reminding you that what is coming is not meant to break your heart again. Instead, it is meant to show you how strong your heart has become. The news will clarify everything. Every unanswered question. Every confusing shift in behavior. Every inconsistency you sensed but could not explain. Every doubt you buried. Every moment that made you feel unworthy, insecure, or forgotten. The truth carries the power to restore your self-respect, your confidence, your emotional stability. You will not view yourself the same way after this revelation. You will see yourself through heaven's eyes. Resilient, chosen, guarded, protected. You may feel resistance rising inside you right now. Part of you wants the truth, but part of you fears what it will reveal. This is normal. This is the human heart trying to protect itself from pain. But Archangel Michael gently reminds you that the pain has already occurred. You living through it. What is coming now is simply the unveiling of them. And once it is revealed, the wound can finally close. Be attentive to the signs around you. Conversations will suddenly shift. Someone may accidentally say more than they intended. A situation may unfold that reveals motives. Your intuition may sharpen overnight. These are the heralds of truth approaching. Archangel Michael is clearing your path so that when this news enters your home, it meets you prepared, strengthened, supported, and spiritually guarded. Do not turn away from this moment. You are stronger than the heartbreak. You are wiser than the confusion. You are more resilient than the betrayal. And you are more protected than you realize. Stay present. What unfolds next is the turning of the page your soul has been waiting for. Type "I receive the light of truth" in the comments if your spirit is aligning with this message. Blessing code 9011 is now released. Hold steady now, because the next unveiling carries a power that will reshape the way you see the entire situation. Sacred One. As the veil continues to lift, Archangel Michael is urging you to pay close attention to the internal shifts happening within you. Something in your soul is awakening, responding to the truth that is drawing nearer with every passing moment. The atmosphere around your home feels different because spiritual forces are moving with intention. Nothing is random. Nothing is accidental. Everything is aligning with a purpose far greater than what you currently see. Archangel Michael stands tall, watching over the unfolding of this revelation, ensuring that nothing enters your life without divine permission. There is an emotional current that has been building inside you, a mixture of anticipation and unease. At times it feels like a memory tugging at your heart, and at other times it feels like a whisper of intuition running along the edges of your awareness. This is not anxiety. It is recognition. Your spirit senses the truth approaching before your mind has the words to understand it. Michael wants you to trust this inner stirring, because it is guiding you toward emotional closure. The heartbreaking news that is coming into your home is part of a divine unraveling, a sacred unveiling meant to untangle the emotional knots that have held you in place for too long. You have been walking with unanswered questions that have grown heavier over time. Moments where someone's actions did not match their words. Moments where their presence felt warm, yet their intentions felt cold. Moments when you sensed emotional distance even when they stood close. Moments where something in their behavior shifted without explanation, leaving you confused and quietly wounded. You brushed these feelings aside, believing you were imagining things, believing you were being overly sensitive. But Archangel Michael says you were sensing truth your eyes could not yet see. The one who hurt you did not do so once. They did so repeatedly, through small choices, careless words, hidden actions, and silent decisions they hoped would never reach you. They acted from a place of weakness, fear, confusion, or selfishness, but the impact fell on your heart. Heaven watched each moment, even the ones you never knew about. And now, heaven is closing the chapter. This heartbreaking news is the final piece of the puzzle, revealing what your soul has long tried to understand. Archangel Michael shows a vision of a thread being pulled from a tightly woven fabric. As the thread loosens, the entire pattern begins to unravel, revealing what was hidden beneath. This is what is happening spiritually. What they tried to hold together with lies, silence, or pretense is coming undone. Your story is unraveling. Their actions are resurfacing. Their truth is rising. Not because you demanded it, but because divine law requires it. Michael's sword has cut through the spiritual fog, and now clarity is marching toward you with precision. You may feel a heaviness in your heart as you sense this shift. This is natural. It is the emotional body preparing itself, bracing for impact, yet longing for release. The news will shake you not because you are weak, but because you love honestly. You care with sincerity. You trusted with purity. And when truth arrives, it confronts both your expectations and your reality. It rearranges your understanding of the person and of the relationship. It forces you to face what you hoped was not true. But remember, this confrontation is also liberation. Archangel Michael says you have carried too much for too long, especially burdens that were never meant to be yours. You blamed yourself when things fell apart. You questioned your worth. You doubted your intuitions. You tried to fix situations that were spiritually unhealthy. You fought for connections that were spiritually misaligned. And heaven saw the toll it took on your spirit. This message comes now because you are finally ready to release the weight of someone else's choices. The heartbreaking news will not destroy you. It will reveal you. It will show you the strength you didn't know you possessed. It will show you the intuition you dismissed. It will show you the emotional maturity you grew in silence. It will show you that your heart has always operated from truth, even when theirs did not. You will experience a moment of emotional shock, but it will pass, and what follows will be clarity, empowerment, and freedom. There is a divine strategy at work. The truth is timed. The truth is targeted. The truth is transformational. Michael is ensuring that when the revelation reaches you, you are spiritually supported, mentally prepared, and emotionally protected. Nothing will enter your home without divine protection surrounding you. Even the news that feels heartbreaking will be enveloped in grace, guiding you toward a breakthrough your soul desperately needs. Soon, your perspective will shift. You will begin to see the events of the past months or years with new understanding. You will see how Spirit tried to warn you. You will see how your dreams hinted at the truth. You will see how timing exposed inconsistencies. You will see how heaven redirected you even when you resisted. You will see that your heartbreak was never a sign of defeat. It was the beginning of your transformation. You are being set free from emotional loops that kept you replaying memories, questioning motives, and trying to interpret behaviors that were never meant to be deciphered by you. The truth will speak for itself now. The person who hurt you will no longer hold power over your mind. Their actions will reveal their character, and your reaction will reveal your growth. Archangel Michael asks you to breathe deeply and stay aligned. What is approaching is sacred. What is coming is necessary. What is unfolding is divinely written. The next stage of this revelation will shift your emotional atmosphere in ways you cannot yet imagine, but in ways heaven has already prepared. Type "I trust the divine timing" in the comments if your soul is ready for the next unveiling. Blessing code 3344 is now released. Hold steady, for the next moment carries a truth that will turn your understanding inside out and bring your heart into alignment with heaven's plan. Child of awakening, as this divine revelation unfolds further, Archangel Michael draws closer still, surrounding your spirit with a shield of light so strong that no shadow can intrude. The atmosphere around your home is thick with meaning, charged with spiritual electricity. Something is coming into alignment, something that has been hidden for far too long, something that your heart has unknowingly needed. You may find your emotions rising unexpectedly, your intuition sharpening, or your dreams becoming more vivid. These are indicators that the unseen world is preparing your inner being for a truth that has been delayed but can no longer wait. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this moment is not merely a revelation, it is a spiritual correction. It is the restoring of balance in your life. For too long, you carried the weight of confusion that was not yours to bear. The person who hurt you left you with unanswered questions, half-truths, and emotional fragments that never made sense. You tried to piece those fragments together, hoping to understand what went wrong, what shifted, what changed. But the truth is that the confusion was created because the person themselves was fragmented. Their actions toward you were reflections of their internal chaos, not a reflection of your worth. Heaven has watched you try to give meaning to situations that were never meant to have meaning. You forgave quietly. You waited patiently. You hoped silently. You tried to understand actions that were rooted in dissection. But the spiritual realm only allows darkness to hide for so long. Now, the veil is thinning completely. The heartbreaking news that is approaching your home is aligned with a divine mandate. Archangel Michael has stepped into this situation because the time for exposure has arrived. No more illusions. No more unanswered questions. No more silent suffering. Michael reveals that the person who hurt you has been carrying their own inner turmoil, and their actions toward you were the overflow of their unhealed wounds. They made choices in fear, acted in secrecy, and hid behind emotional masks because they lacked the courage to face their own truth. But divine justice requires transparency. Their words will betray them. Their actions will expose them. A situation around them will unravel. Something they tried to control will slip from their hands. And when this happens, the truth will rise like smoke, visible from every angle. You may be wondering why the universe is bringing this to you now. Why not earlier? Why not before the wound became so deep? Archangel Michael answers this with clarity. There's a divine sequence to healing. You were not ready before. You would have reacted from emotion, not wisdom. You would have responded from pain, not strength. Heaven waited until your spirit reached a level of maturity where this truth would not break you. It would empower you. Now, when the news enters your life, you will not collapse. You will not crumble. You will stand in understanding and clarity. The emotional shock is part of the cleansing. It will shake you away. When you hear the truth, it may feel like a sudden chill, a hollow drop in the stomach, or a quiet realization that finally clicks into place. But this moment will also unlock a deeper part of your inner strength. You will see clearly what your heart trying to interpret blindly. You will understand why things unfolded the way they did. You will see how Spirit was protecting you even when your heart was breaking. Archangel Michael shows a vision of a locked door inside your soul. Behind this door are memories, questions, emotions, and unanswered stories that have lingered inside you. When the heartbreaking news arrives, the door will open, not to overwhelm you, but to release you. Everything that was trapped inside will pour out, cleansing your emotional world from the inside. This is a purification, a spiritual reset, a rebalancing of your inner landscape. The person who hurt you underestimated the power of truth. They believed their actions would remain private. They believed the consequences would never catch up with them. They believed your silence gave them freedom. But divine timing has arrived, and now their choices will speak louder than their words ever did. Archangel Michael is not revealing this to punish them, but to restore you. This is not about vengeance. It is about justice. It is about restoring your heart to a place of strength, clarity, and dignity. As the revelation approaches, you may notice moments of sudden clarity, feelings rising and passing quickly, intuition speaking louder, memories resurfacing with new meaning. This is part of the alignment. Spirit is preparing your mind so the truth does not shock you beyond measure. The heartbreak may feel sharp, but it will be followed by an emotional release so deep that you will feel lighter than you have in years. This is heaven's way of cleansing your path. Archangel Michael stands beside you with assurance, saying, What you are about to learn will set you free from every emotional tether you did not know was still binding you. The person who hurt you will no longer hold space in your heart the way they once did. Their influence will fade. Their memory will lose its grip. Their actions will no longer shape your feelings or your decisions. The truth will allow you to reclaim your power. You are entering a moment where understanding replaces confusion, where clarity replaces silence, where strength replaces heartbreak. Allow yourself to feel everything that rises. This is healing, not destruction. This is revelation, not chaos. This is transformation, not loss. And in this transformation, Archangel Michael walks with you, guarding every step you take. Type "I welcome clarity" in the comments if your soul is ready for the next stage of truth. Blessing code 1199 is now activated. Stay close to this message, for the next shift will reveal the emotional turning point your heart could never reach on its own. Beloved seeker of truth, as the revelation grows nearer, Archangel Michael urges you to steady your spirit. The atmosphere around your home is becoming unmistakably charged, as if the unseen world is preparing to deliver something long overdue. The silence before truth arrives often feels heavier than the truth itself, and that is what you are sensing now. It is the weight of something that has been buried for too long rising toward the surface. The approaching moment carries significance, not because it will surprise heaven, but because it will awaken something dormant inside you. Archangel Michael moves with purpose now, pacing the spiritual perimeter of your home like a guardian who refuses to let any unclean truth slip past his watch. He knows what is about to unfold. He knows the depth of the wound this news will touch. He knows the strength you will need to withstand it. But more importantly, he knows the freedom that waits on the other side of this revelation. There is a liberation tied to this truth that your spirit has been unknowingly craving, even if your heart still fears the impact of what is coming. The one who hurt you did not simply act out of a moment of weakness. Their actions were part of a deeper pattern, a pattern they thought would remain hidden, a pattern that created emotional turbulence within you even when you didn't understand why. You felt abandoned without explanation. You felt confused without closure. You felt dismissed without reason. Their choices created emotional fractures in your heart that you tried to repair with strength alone. But heaven saw every fracture. Heaven counted every tear. Heaven marked every moment your spirit felt unseen. And now, heaven is answering. The heartbreaking news is approaching, but not as a punishment. It is arriving as truth long denied, truth long overdue, truth long restrained by silence. Archangel Michael shows an image of a tightly sealed envelope in the spiritual realm, an envelope marked with your name. It holds details, realizations, exposures, and confirmations that were never given to you. Now that seal is breaking, the message is being released. The revelation is coming toward your home with purpose, precision, and divine timing. You may feel emotional tension rising inside you, as though your heart is bracing itself without fully understanding what it is bracing for. This is natural. When truth approaches, the spirit senses it before the mind can articulate it. You are being spiritually prepared so that when the news arrives, you will not be shattered, you will be awakened. Archangel Michael is clearing your emotional space, making room for clarity to land without overwhelming you. There are things the person who hurt you never told you, behaviors they hid, motivations they concealed, choices they justified to themselves but never admitted to you. Their silence created gaps in your understanding, and you tried to fill those gaps with grace, optimism, or hope. But the truth is that you were trying to repair a connection that was spiritually fractured long before you recognized the signs. The coming revelation will finally illuminate why things felt unstable, why their presence felt inconsistent, why their affection fluctuated like the tide. The truth will remove the fog that clouded your awareness. Archangel Michael whispers that this moment is not about exposing someone to embarrass them. It is about exposing the truth so your heart can heal. You cannot move forward with clarity while carrying the weight of someone else's hidden actions. You cannot rise into your next season while unresolved pain pulls at your spirit. You cannot evolve while emotional illusions cling to your identity. And so, Michael brings the sword of truth to cut the final ties that have silently held you in place. Prepare yourself, beloved soul. You will soon see something that shifts the way you perceive your past. A message may arrive unexpectedly. A conversation may take a sudden turn. A confession may surface. The situation involving this person may unfold publicly or privately, revealing what was once concealed. It will feel like a sudden gust of wind that knocks the breath from your chest, but then fills your lungs with clarity. This is not destruction. It is revelation. Heaven wants you to understand that you are not losing anything with this news. Instead, you are regaining something far more valuable: your peace, your perspective, your inner strength. You may feel a brief ache, a sting, a moment of disbelief. But after that comes the release. After that comes the breath you did not know you were longing for. After that comes the emotional freedom your soul has silently begged for. Archangel Michael shows a vision of you stepping out of a dim corridor into a vast, bright space. That corridor represents the confusion you endured. The bright space represents the clarity waiting ahead. But to step into the new light, you must first acknowledge the shadows behind you. This truth is the doorway between the two worlds. Once you walk through it, your spirit will not return to the old emotional patterns. The revelation will break cycles that would have continued for years if not exposed now. The one who hurt you will face their own moment of reckoning. Their facade is cracking. Your silence is faltering. Their actions are circling back. But this is their journey, not yours. Your journey is the healing. Your journey is the clarity. Your journey is the transformation that follows. And when the truth finally reaches your home, it will not leave you in pieces. It will leave you in power. Type "I embrace the awakening" in the comments if your spirit is aligning with this unfolding revelation. Blessing code 7744 is now released. Stay close, for the next unfolding carries a divine turning point that will shake loose the final layer of emotional weight you have carried for far too long. Chosen soul, as this revelation draws near its peak, Archangel Michael stands fully awakened in his guardianship over your life. The spiritual realm is no longer whispering. It is speaking with unmistakable clarity. Something is shifting, something is stirring, something is breaking open with divine force. You can feel it in the atmosphere of your home, in the rhythm of your thoughts, in the quiet spaces of your heart. That sense of anticipation mixed with unease is not anxiety. It is spiritual alignment. Truth is moving with such momentum that even the walls of your inner world can feel the tremor of what is coming. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the most intense part of the revelation is now approaching. You have walked through the edges of it, sensed its shadow, felt its whisper, but now the core of the truth is about to emerge. This is the moment where heaven pulls back the curtain completely. The heartbreaking news coming to your home is no longer forming. It is arriving. And though it may shock you, it will not harm you. Though it may pierce your heart for a moment, it will strengthen your spirit for a lifetime. Heaven never reveals truth without purpose, and Michael is here to ensure that this purpose lifts you, not shatters you. The one who hurt you is now standing spiritually in the center of exposure. They can no longer outrun the consequences of their choices. They cannot hide behind excuses, silence, or emotional distance. Their actions, once concealed behind a curtain of secrecy, are now being illuminated. Michael shows a vision of a hidden room, tightly sealed and dark. But cracks are appearing in the walls, and through those cracks, beams of light are entering. What was hidden must rise. What was concealed must come forward. What was kept in darkness must meet the light of truth. The revelation you are about to receive involves something this person never intended for you to discover. They thought time would erase it. They believed your compassion would distract you. They assumed your silence meant you were unaware. But heaven has been watching, and Michael has been waiting for the precise moment to intervene. That moment is now. Whether the truth reaches you through someone else's words, through an unexpected message, through a shift in circumstances, or through the person themselves breaking under the weight of their own guilt, the outcome is the same. The truth will be undeniable. Prepare your heart, not in fear but in readiness. Your spirit is stronger than it has ever been, and that strength is not accidental. Heaven has been preparing you. Every intuitive nudge, every moment of emotional heaviness, every unexplained dream, every sudden memory, these were all pieces of a divine preparation. You were being spiritually conditioned to handle what once would have overwhelmed you. Now, you are ready to receive clarity with wisdom rather than pain, strength rather than weakness. Archangel Michael speaks softly yet firmly. You deserve truth. You deserve healing. You deserve peace. And this revelation is the key that unlocks all three. Do not mistake this moment for destruction. It is purification. When truth enters, illusions collapse. When clarity arrives, false connections dissolve. When exposure comes, cycles break. The news may sting, but the freedom that follows will feel like stepping out of heavy chains. You will breathe easy. You will think clearer. You will understand your past with new eyes. You may also feel a shift in how you view the person who hurt you. Their actions will no longer confuse you. Your decisions will no longer haunt you. The emotional grip they once held over your heart will weaken. Truth dissolves attachment. Truth breaks emotional ties that exhaustion could not break. Truth liberates you in ways time never could. And as this liberation occurs, you will begin to see your own worth with divine clarity. The spiritual world is aligning everything so precisely that you may notice signs intensifying around you. Things falling out of place or falling into place. Conversations taking unexpected turns. People revealing more than they intended. Your intuition picking up details you previously overlooked. These are not random coincidences. They are heaven's way of signaling that the moment of full revelation is at the door. And when the door opens, Michael will be standing beside you, guiding your heart through every emotion with unwavering protection. You are strong enough for this. You are ready for this. You are chosen for this unveiling. The truth will not break you. It will rebuild you. Type "I stand with truth" in the comments if your spirit is aligned with this divine unfolding. Blessing code 8833 is now released. Before we continue, take a moment to pour strength back into this message. Like this video to anchor your energy into it. Comment to affirm your alignment. Share it so someone else may receive clarity. And subscribe so you never miss another divine revelation released for you. Beloved listener, as the truth breaks through and Michael's sword clears the shadows around your home, remember that this mission extends far beyond one message. Each revelation shared here becomes a lifeline for someone battling silence, confusion, or heartbreak in the dark. When you choose to sow into this work, you are not giving to a platform. You are fueling a spiritual movement. Heaven declares that every seed of support becomes a beam of light that reaches another wounded heart. I speak this now with divine authority. If your spirit feels the pull, this is your moment to act. Support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description is not just offering. It is prophecy in motion. Those who sow into truth will reap protection, clarity, and supernatural covering. Step boldly, for heaven moves through the hands of those who answer its call. Precious soul of rising strength, the spiritual tension around your home is reaching a level that cannot be ignored. Archangel Michael is standing in full armor now, not because danger is coming, but because truth is stepping forward with such force that the atmosphere must be guarded as it arrives. There is a heaviness in the air, a stillness that feels almost suspended in time. This is the pause before the unveiling, the final inhale before the truth is fully released into your life. You may feel as though you are standing on the edge of something immense, and that sensation is not your imagination. It is your spirit preparing for a transformation that has been years in the making. Archangel Michael wants you to recognize that you have reached a spiritual threshold. There is no going back to who you were before this moment. The truth that is coming is not merely informational. It is transformational. It will touch your memories, your emotions, your understanding, and your sense of self. The news you are about to receive holds the power to shift the narrative you have been carrying, to rewrite the story you believe about your past, and to liberate you from the weight of misinterpretations that have clung to your heart for far too long. The person who hurt you is now standing on unstable ground, not because of punishment, but because truth is beginning to dismantle the illusions they built. Their actions, which they once justified or minimized, are now rising to the surface. Their words, which once masked their intentions, are unraveling. Their silence, which once hid their heart, is cracking. What they tried to keep concealed can no longer remain hidden. Michael shows a vision of an old wooden box buried beneath layers of dirt, rotted, fragile, desperate to stay sealed. But the earth beneath it is shifting, pushing it upward. Truth has its own force. It cannot remain buried when heaven decides it must rise. You may feel a subtle sadness appearing at the edges of your spirit, even before the news reaches you. This is a pre-release of emotional energy. Your soul is loosening its grip on old attachments, preparing for the clarity that will take their place. This sadness is not weakness, it is transition. It is the final echo of a season that no longer belongs to you. The truth is coming to remove what has weighed down your heart and to open space for something far more aligned with your spiritual growth. Archangel Michael reminds you that truth often arrives in unexpected ways. It may come through a message you never anticipated receiving. It may come through another person revealing what they witnessed or heard. It may come through the sudden collapse of a situation the person tried to control. Or it may come through the person themselves, unable to carry the burden of their own conscience any longer. However it arrives, the impact will be the same. The truth will land, and clarity will spread through your spirit like light filling a darkened room. The heartbreaking element of this revelation does not lie in the news itself, but in the realization of how deeply you cared, how deeply you trusted, how deeply you tried to understand someone who was not capable of loving you with the same purity. You gave your heart with sincerity, while they operated from inconsistency. You offered loyalty, while they offered only fragments. You stood in truth, while they stood in confusion. The news will reveal this imbalance with striking clarity, but it will also help you see that the way you loved was never the problem. Your heart was never the flaw. Archangel Michael shows a vision of you standing with a lantern in your hand, walking through a hallway of closed doors. Each door represents a chapter of your emotional life, and the news that is coming will allow you to close one of those doors for the final time. You will no longer revisit the confusion, the pain, or the questions that have followed you like shadows. The moment the truth reaches you, the door will seal shut, not out of bitterness, but out of completion. This is the ending your spirit deserves. You may feel tempted to question yourself when the news arrives, to wonder how you missed the signs or why you stayed longer than you should have. But Archangel Michael insists that your journey did not unfold by accident. Your heart learned, grew, and expanded in ways it could not have otherwise. You became wiser, stronger, more intuitive, more spiritually sensitive. The heartbreak sharpened your discernment. The confusion deepened your empathy. The betrayal strengthened your boundaries. And now, the truth will complete the transformation. There is a sacredness to this moment. You are standing in a divine intersection where justice meets healing, where truth meets closure, where revelation meets rebirth. Once the news is fully revealed, you will feel a shift inside your chest, as though a weight you never fully acknowledged has finally lifted. You will breathe differently. You will think differently. You will see yourself differently. And most importantly, you will feel more like yourself than you have in a long time. Archangel Michael instructs you to remain calm as the moment draws near. You are not unprotected. You are not alone. You are not walking blind into this revelation. He is beside you, holding his sword of truth and shielding your spirit from emotional overwhelm. When the news reaches your home, you will feel an initial jolt, but then you will feel strength wash over you like a warm wave. Heaven will not let this revelation crush you. It will use it to resurrect you. And soon, very soon, you will understand how everything you endured was leading to this turning point. Type "I am ready to SE" clearly in the comments if your spirit feels this truth approaching. Blessing code 2281 is now activated. Stay with this message, for what comes next will illuminate the final hidden layer and bring your heart into full emotional release. Dearest soul walking toward truth, a profound shift is occurring within the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your home. What once felt like a distant echo is now pressing against the edges of your awareness, ready to break through with undeniable clarity. Archangel Michael stands firmly beside you, his presence stronger than ever, because the revelation that approaches is one that carries weight, depth, and long-awaited understanding. This is the moment where emotional fog begins to dissolve. This is the moment where truth begins to take shape, not as a whisper, but as a declaration straight from the realm of the divine. You have felt the build-up inside you. Your intuition has been stirred. Your emotions have fluctuated, and your heart has grown increasingly aware that something significant is on its way. Archangel Michael wants you to know that what is coming is not meant to destroy the fragile pieces of your heart. It is meant to change the way you see everything. For a long time, you carried assumptions that were never confirmed, emotions that were never explained, and heartbreaks that never found closure. You lived with unanswered questions, hoping time would bring clarity. Yet time alone could never reveal what heaven is now preparing to uncover. There is a divine strategy behind this exposure. Nothing arrives before its season. Nothing is revealed until your spirit is strong enough to handle it. And nothing remains hidden when Archangel Michael moves his hand across your life. The heartbreaking news that is approaching your home is connected to a truth that was always there, but never visible to you. The person who hurt you held fragments of themselves behind their back, hiding their true intentions, concealing their missteps, and withholding their accountability. They lived in the comfort of believing you would never know, never question, never see beyond the surface. But the spiritual world has no walls. The divine realm has no blind spots. And Michael has witnessed everything, not just the actions, but the intentions, the vibrations, the emotional imprints left behind. In this season, the truth is rising with unstoppable momentum. Think of a river that has been dammed for too long. The pressure behind it grows, the current strengthens, the force intensifies, until the barrier can no longer contain it. That is what is happening now. The emotional and spiritual dam around this truth is breaking. What was concealed will flow into the open, and though it may feel overwhelming at first, the release will be cleansing. You cannot heal from what you do not understand, and you cannot move forward while clinging to what was never meant to carry you into the next chapter. Archangel Michael shows a vision of your heart covered in layers of dust formed from confusion, disappointment, and emotional fatigue. Each truth that arrives is like a gust of wind clearing those layers, unveiling the authentic radiance beneath. The person who hurt you contributed to that dust, leaving you with questions about your worth, your intuition, your judgment. But the revelation coming will not only expose their actions, it will validate your inner knowing. It will confirm what your spirit whispered long ago. It will prove that you were never misjudging the situation. You were sensing the truth before it had a voice. Prepare yourself for a moment of emotional confrontation, not with the person, but with the truth itself. Sometimes the hardest part is not learning what happened, but finally accepting what it means. This news will dismantle old illusions. It will disrupt old emotional patterns. It will force you to see a version of the past that is clearer, sharper, and more honest than you have ever seen before. But this clarity is necessary. Without it, you cannot step into the emotional freedom that awaits you. Without it, you cannot claim the healing heaven has reserved for this exact moment. You may notice your emotions fluctuating more intensely now. Moments of sudden sadness and moments of isolated calm. This emotional rhythm is the sign of a soul preparing itself for change. Do not resist these feelings. Let them move through you. They are not signs of instability. They are signs of alignment. Your heart is adjusting its frequency to receive truth. Michael is guiding each emotional shift, ensuring that you are not overwhelmed, but prepared. Another powerful sign is your intuition becoming sharper, almost piercing. You may start to sense the revelation before you receive it outright. You may feel a knowing, a heaviness, an expectant silence. These are sacred signals. Heaven communicates ahead of time so your spirit is never caught off guard. You are being prepared for emotional liberation. You are being prepared for mental clarity. You are being prepared for spiritual elevation. Understand this clearly. The heartbreaking news is not the end of your story. It is the end of a chapter that was never truthful to begin with. It is the removal of a mask. It is the unearthing of a buried truth. It is the clearing of spiritual debris that has blocked your joy, your direction, and your relationships. Once this truth stands before you, the emotional chains tied to this person will loosen. The pull they once had on your inner world will dissolve. You will feel a refreshing sense of emotional independence. Archangel Michael stands beside you with a protective calm, assuring you that the revelation will not leave you broken. It will leave you awakened. You will feel the sting of truth, but you will also feel the freedom of release. This moment is sacred. It is purposeful. It is part of your divine unfolding. Type "I receive the unveiling" in the comments if your heart is ready to embrace this transformation. Blessing code 6671 is now activated. Stay attuned, for the next part carries the emotional pivot that shifts your heart from understanding into liberation. Beloved soul standing on the edge of revelation, the spiritual atmosphere around you has thickened, becoming almost tangible, as though unseen hands are gently, but firmly guiding your heart toward the moment you have long been approaching. Archangel Michael stands with unwavering authority beside you, not as a distant observer but as an active force ensuring that the truth entering your life arrives with precision, timing, and divine protection. This moment has been building steadily like a storm forming at the horizon. You could feel its presence long before it showed its face. The tightening in your intuition, the emotional waves, the subtle signs, these have all been the whispers of what is now almost fully manifested. Archangel Michael reminds you that the truth you are about to face carries layers. It is not simple. It is not small. It is not insignificant. It reaches deep into the emotional roots of your past, into the corners of your heart where pain once settled quietly and disguised itself as strength. The heartbreaking news approaching your home is not merely a revelation of someone else's actions. It is a revelation of your own journey, your own resilience, your own evolving strength. It will show you how far you have come and how deeply heaven has been guiding your steps even when you felt lost. This truth will challenge you, not because it is cruel, but because it confronts illusions you once depended on. You held on to certain memories, certain versions of a person, certain interpretations of events, because they were the only explanations you had. But now, as Michael clears the fog from your path, you will see everything with new clarity. The person who hurt you was carrying burdens you never knew about, conflicts within themselves that shaped their behavior in ways you blamed yourself for. Their mistakes were not your failures. Your silence was not your unworthiness. Their emotional distance was not a reflection of your inadequacy. Archangel Michael reveals a vision of a glass window, once fogged and smudged, obscuring what was outside. But now, the window is being cleaned not gently but thoroughly. With each stroke, more of the truth becomes visible. This is what is happening inside you. The heartbreak you once feared is now becoming a portal to understanding. What seemed confusing will make sense. What felt heavy will lighten. What haunted you will lose its power. The news may come suddenly, a message that shocks you, a conversation that stuns you, or a revelation you stumble upon unexpectedly. Or it may arrive softly, through a subtle shift, through someone's confession, through a sign that cannot be ignored. However it comes, you will know immediately that this is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. Your spirit will recognize it before your mind processes it. Your heart will beat differently. Your awareness will sharpen. Your soul will brace itself with an ancient knowing. You will feel the sting at first. It may hit you in the chest, like a weight pulling down your breath. It may cause a crack in your composure. It may bring tears you haven't shed in a long time. This is natural. This is the human heart meeting a truth it long avoided but deeply needed. Archangel Michael wants you to allow this emotional release because tears are not weakness. They are cleansing. They are the soul's way of letting go of what was never meant to stay. But after that initial sting, something extraordinary will happen. You will feel your spirit rising. You will feel understanding settling into place. You will feel your heart expanding rather than shrinking. You will feel a strange mixture of sadness and relief, as if you are exhaling years of confusion in a single breath. The truth will not destroy you, it will free you. It will give your heart the permission it needs to move forward without the weight of the past holding it hostage. The person who hurt you will no longer hold the same emotional power. Their shadow over your spirit will dissolve. Their memory will lose its sting. Their choices will no longer define your self-worth. You will stop replaying old moments in your mind. You will stop wondering what you could have done differently. You will stop holding yourself responsible for someone else's internal battles. The revelation will close that chapter with a divine seal. Archangel Michael stands with his sword lowered, not in battle, but in blessing. He is not here to wage war over the situation. He is here to bless the transformation that follows it. He is ensuring that everything that enters your awareness now serves your healing, your clarity, and your spiritual ascension. Nothing that comes next is meant to drag you backward. Every detail of this revelation is designed to propel you into a higher emotional and spiritual state. You may also notice a shift in your dreams during this time. The subconscious is opening, releasing old wounds, bringing unresolved emotions to the surface. This is part of your preparation. Do not fear these dreams. They are echoes leaving your soul. They are emotional imprints dissolving. They are signs that the truth is integrating into your spirit, making room for renewal. And soon, the release will be complete. The weight will be lifted. The cycle will end. And you will stand on the other side of this revelation stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your divine purpose. Archangel Michael whispers that the final layer of this journey is approaching. What comes next is not just truth. It is rebirth. Type "I am ready to be free" in the comments if your spirit is prepared for the final unveiling. Blessing code 5529 is now activated. Stay close, because the next unfolding will open the final emotional gate and reveal the deeper purpose behind everything you have endured. Beloved soul entering your divine release, this is the moment Archangel Michael has been preparing you for from the very beginning. The spiritual atmosphere around your home has reached its peak, vibrating with truth so powerful that even your breath feels different. Your intuition has sharpened, your emotions have risen, and your inner world has been shifting in quiet waves. All of this has been leading to this final unveiling, the moment where the heartbreaking news fully steps into the light, not to destroy you, but to deliver you. You have walked through layers of revelation, each one bringing you closer to clarity, closure, and emotional restoration. Now, the final piece is ready to fall into place. Archangel Michael stands before you, not with the intensity of battle, but with the gentleness of a guardian who has watched over your heart with unwavering devotion. His wings extend around your spirit, creating a shelter of tranquility even as truth approaches with force. He wants you to understand that everything you endured, every unanswered question, every silent ache, every confusing moment, they were not signs of abandonment. They were signs of divine timing. The truth was delayed only so you could grow strong enough to receive it without breaking. And now that you have reached that strength, the revelation comes forth. The heartbreaking news entering your home will reveal something you sensed long ago but never fully understood. It is connected to the person who wounded your heart, the one whose actions left marks deeper than you ever admitted. Their behavior was not random. Their choices were not accidental. Their silence held secrets. Their distance held struggles. Their intentions were clouded by their own internal chaos. You felt the effects of their brokenness before you ever knew its origin. And what you are about to learn will bring your intuition into full validation. Michael shows a vision of a locked door finally swinging open. Behind it is not darkness but clarity. The truth that once hid in the shadows will finally step forward, unveiling the reasons behind their behavior, their inconsistencies, their emotional absence, or their betrayal. The revelation may arrive through words spoken, a confession offered, a message discovered, or a situation unfolding publicly. However it arrives, it will instantly connect the missing pieces you have been carrying. The emotional puzzle will complete itself in a single moment, and you will see with new eyes everything you once struggled to understand. Yes, the truth may sting. It may hit your heart with a sudden sharpness. It may cause your body to pause, your breath to catch, your emotions to surge. But this pain will not linger. It will not consume you. It will not break you. Instead, it will feel like the final crack that allows the light to flood in. You will feel your spirit exhale in relief, relief that comes only from finally knowing, finally understanding, and finally being free of emotional weight you were never meant to carry. You will realize that your heart was never foolish, only faithful. You loved from honesty. You trusted from purity. You gave from sincerity. And the truth will show that the person who hurt you acted from woundedness, fear, confusion, or selfishness, not from your shortcomings. Their actions reflect them, not you. Their betrayal reveals their lack, not yours. Their deception exposes their fears, not your failures. His final revelation will return your self-worth to you in full measure. Archangel Michael also reveals that once this truth lands, a powerful spiritual gate will close behind you. The cycle of emotional repetition, replaying memories, questioning your worth, wondering what you did wrong, that cycle will end instantly. You will feel a release so profound that it may bring tears, tears of release, tears of relief, tears of awakening. The grip this person had on your emotional landscape will finally dissolve. Your influence will fade like mist in the morning sun, and your spirit will rise with a clarity you have never experienced. The divine purpose behind this entire journey now comes into view. You were being prepared, not punished. You were being shaped, not shattered. You were being elevated, not abandoned. Heaven needed to free your heart so it could step into a new chapter, unburdened and aligned with its true path. What comes after this revelation is not emptiness. It is expansion. It is healing. It is new connection, new alignment, new blessings, new emotional strength. Archangel Michael smiles over your spirit and says, "You are ready. You are protected. You are rising." The heartbreaking news may be the final strike, but it is striking the chains, not your heart. It is breaking what needed to be broken so you can be whole again. This is your liberation. This is your moment. This is your rising. Type "I am free at last" in the comments if your spirit receives this breakthrough. Blessing code 3177 is now activated. Before you step into the new chapter this revelation will open, help lift this message into the hearts of others. Like this video to expand its reach, comment to anchor your faith into its unfolding, share it so another soul can be guided, and subscribe to stay under the covering of the messages released for you. Beloved listener, as this final revelation settles into your spirit, understand that this space is more than a channel. It is a sanctuary where wounded hearts find clarity through the voice of heaven. When you choose to support this mission, you become a carrier of light, extending God's healing to others who are quietly battling their own storms. Archangel Michael stands witness to every seed sown here, and heaven multiplies what you release. I speak this now with divine certainty. Your support is not charity, it is prophecy in motion. If your heart feels the pull, respond boldly through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description. Let your giving become the oil that keeps this mission burning. And as you plant into this work, may heaven open rivers of peace, protection, and provision over your home,